that is one reason why those areas have been selected as ground to establish such a big solar power plant here. And in addition, please allow me to my very personal stories. Miyazaki Prefecture is my hometown. I come from these areas, and Tokyo is here. I think a lot of people here. So suppose you have the chance to come to Japan, please visit the Miyazaki Prefecture, because Miyazaki Prefecture is also famous as Sunshine City and very good nature. You can enjoy a lot of natural natures. And of course, food is perfect, even for the vegetarians. Okay, and I'm changing some the stories from the earthquake disaster from the Shinkansen. As I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, I think this is a good example to explain how Japanese people consider about the disruptions and how Japanese thinking the maintenance is very, very important. You can see that these pictures. I think I like these pictures. This is the two symbols here. One symbol is Mount Fuji, and Shinkansen is running just behind of the, just front of the Mount Fuji. You can see it's like the stops, but the speed of the Shinkansen, this area is around the 290 kilometers. And suppose you come to the Tokyo station or Tsunaga station, especially in the morning time and evening time, you can see every 3 minutes train come to the platform and depart to the destination. Every 3 minutes. But as you know, the Shinkansen is very fast, very, very fast. But this is the main important. Their fatal injured since 1964, which means they began the operation in the Shinkansen. Just the year of the Olympics, Tokyo Olympics before. Okay, and this is the frequency, and the 100 to 23 is the seat numbers of the one set of the Shinkansen. The very, very mass transportation is happening. And shall I back to the one slide? I forgot to mention a very important point here. Okay, and I explained what happened here about. Here again, I needed to say thanks to the Indian company because we call the PCS, that is the name of the equipment, to convert the AC power to DC power. That is the key devices, key equipment for this plant, and that PCS is purchased from the Indian company. Thank you very much. That is the key devices. And of course, I think as you know, the Japanese people are very concerned about the quality of the services. So that's why we made a lot of feedback to the Indian company. But Indian company's response is very, very quick. They established a local branch to take care about it. Thank you very much. And Shinkansen, this is the system of the Shinkansen, the very large system. And we have another plan to expand the another areas here and another area here in the 10 years. And this is what happened in the Shinkansen system when we have the earthquake on the 2011. They have a lot of damages, of course. And of course, a lot of the trains were operations, but no accident, no people injured. Only one train is drift from the railway, but nobody is on the trains. Because we have the advanced alert system of the earthquake. The P wave, S wave, right? Suppose we catch the P wave, that is the wave before coming the shaking. Suppose system is receiving the P wave, we stop everything, then wait the shaking. That is the system. That is very, very important to make sure safe. And that is another story to explain as well. He's sleeping. Can you play this song? Dhanyawad and Shukriya. Yes, yes.
When a train arrives, the cleaning team bows to greet it. They hold over the garbage bags at the doors and greet each passenger getting off with thank you. She says customers bring us garbage from inside the cars, so we tell them thank you for this. Customers are helping us with our job of collecting the garbage, so we say it to express our appreciation. The drama in the 7-minute cleaning theater is about to begin. A Shinkansen's average stop time is 12 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for passengers to get on and off. Once all the passengers have gotten on, there's only 7 minutes to completely finish cleaning the cars and taking out the garbage. In general, one person is in charge of cleaning a single car, which has approximately 100 seats. When one task is finished, they run to the next. And run again. And run some more. They check to make sure all seats are in their upright position and the cleaning is finished. After finishing the 7-minute cleaning, they line up, bow, and go to the next job. The passengers get to board a nice, clean train. He says a fundamental aspect of Japanese mentality is, for example, when you invite a guest to your home, first you start by cleaning. So since we're welcoming customers to our train, first we clean. Well, that might be all we do. It may be that we are also providing more, that we're providing hospitality, and that is where we start. The Shinkansen cleaning staff take pride in their work of cleaning and undertake it with a spirit of hospitality. The 7-minute miracle continues.
Okay, thank you. I think not a lot of time is, sorry? Oh, 50 minutes, that's more than enough for me. Okay, from here, my name is Kentaro Sakamoto from PMIJ. And let me introduce PMI Japan chapter briefly and our activity. Can you go for PowerPoint again? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I had, how many chapters in there? 4? 8. Oh, wow, 8. Wow. Well, compared to India, Japan is a small country, and we only have a Japan chapter, just one. But we have 2 branches, Kansai and Chubu, right? Yes. Yes. 2 slides. Oh, yes. Oh. Next. Oh, yes, here. Yes. Yes. Well, we have 3,700 chapter members, 2,800 PMP holders, and all PMI members, 7,700. So almost half of PMI members of Japan chapter. And we have much more PMP holders in Japan. It's about 36,000. So we are searching a way to attract those people and recruit those people to PMI Japan. And this is the organization of PMI Japan. We have 4 important committees: mission, planning, performance, and regulation, and many study groups and task groups. And we are a member of International Relationship Community, and that's one study group somewhere around here, yes. And our direction, first, improve services for PMIJ members and PMI members. And second, as we talked about, contribute to for East Japan disaster recovery. And third, cooperate with other frameworks like ITIL, BABOK, or CBOK, or RT coordinator. And 4, contribute globalization of Japanese companies. And 5, we are not just stick with PMBOK, but also search for leveraging ways to work on portfolio management or program management and those stuff. And here's another picture of tsunami. And let me introduce one example of our contribution for tsunami disaster. Like we show, this is the area, Tohoku region, the earthquake hit, and we set one project on Minami Sanriku town. It's a small town on the Pacific coast here. This is Shizukawa Nature Center. It's a small building, but it's important for people studying ocean science and scholars, students who working on geology and those stuff. And this was also hit by tsunami. Those are pictures. I think those are taken by Sugimura-san. Yes. And the style of project was cooperating with NPOs and government staff. We had discussion over and over again with NPOs and local government, and we set the goal as a fatalist recovery, not temporary one. It should go long-term project, not urgent project. For urgent project, we have police forces or firefighters or other government sectors to help out. But we knew those recovery projects take long time, and we are the good ones to tackle with those things with project management skills. And of course, it should be recovery area where PMIJ members have good knowledge and skills. And supported organization, we supported organization keen to learn and use project management skill and knowledge. Then we finally decided what we're going to do was Nature Center Recovery Project. So program name was Shizukawa Nature Center Recovery, and that includes projects, Shizukawa Nature Center Recovery, Salmon Extrication Center Recovery. It sounds weird, but that area was famous with those ocean products. And here, Communication Center Recovery, and program period was 10 years. So it's still continuing from 2011. And sponsor was Japanese government and Minami Sanriku town, local government. So approach was, like I said, it is joint project with NPOs. And at first we focused on IT-related projects, but later it expands to support education and training and urban development. Sometimes we co-worked with business organizations who provided PM tools for IT infrastructure. And this is on the back side to support those front side people. We had PMPBL translating project, and it goes education facilitation project, and then perform it actual project. And all of those trials goes as project management asset to PMO. It looks a bit messy, but you can see PMI Japan chapter is here, and we cooperate with NPOs, and various NPOs and NGOs and public sector, like local government, then give support to actual volunteer members or organizations. And we worked, the PMO we said was act as a gateway to volunteer people and or other organizations to access to damaged area. Here's an infrastructure supporting tool provided by a volunteer company. It worked as groupware or project management tool. Yes, this is a roadmap to recovery from pre-planning, initiation, and the planning, execution, and closing. We keep this cycle going and going. Yes. And this is a final slide of us. This is a reconstructed structure of Minami Sanriku Marine Visitor Center. Well, it was called Shizukawa Nature Center, but it's rebuilt as with new name. So, like Sugimura-san mentioned, natural disaster comes again and again, and we cannot escape from that small island, you know. So this kind of say effort must be keep going, and we got to keep in mind that we got to be our social member and work together and overcome those natural disasters. That's it. Thank you. Probably we don't have time for questions. Okay, just one question.
One question.
Yes, please.
Just for this disaster recovery project you just explained, you have shown the period of the project as 11 years.
Yes.
How you have prioritized this?
Maybe.
Generally, the disaster recovery is fast, so that normalcy is restored fast. So why, first of all, why 11 years? And if it is required 11 years, then how have you prioritized?
Maybe you can explain. Yes.
Thank you very much for your question. I think that is a very good question because I think we need to share some of the background what happened this project. We supporting as a project manager PMI Japan, and Minami Sanriku is such a very small town and the local government. Of course, they have their own budget, own skill to running a small project in those areas. But in this case, the Japanese central government is supporting the such local government, which meaning central government will send the money to recover it. And now, of course, the central Japanese government send engineers and organization or company to rebuild or infrastructures to recover it to them. But unfortunately, such a local government does not have a good capability of the project management to running such project. The first, education. It took 1 year or 2 years. And second, of course, simultaneously, it happened planning to recover it where, to how. We spend a lot of time for the planning because it's not kind of the IT project. Once we fix the design, it's very difficult to change the design because the structures. So that's why we have a lot of the discussion with the architect, the construction architect, and have a lot of discussion with the local government and central government. Then we need to spend, I think, 3.5 years for the planning. And now, as he explained, the Shizukawa nature areas is the recovery from the disaster as the structures, but another 5 years or 4 years, we have to continue the education, from the PMIJ point of view, which means the capability of the project running in such a small area is our, the goal from the PMIJ areas. That is step by steps, the priorities.
Yeah, thank you. Just one appendix question related to this, because when I visited Osaka, there was an earthquake just a week ago. But we found even the big flyover, which is which had fallen down were reconstructed in matter of weeks as a part of your disaster management.
It happened in Kobe. It happened in Kobe.
Yeah, but how would you do that? Because just reconstructing a huge flyover in matter of weeks is unimaginable in India. That's the perfect
I think that is a very good question. Do you remember that I think just 1 month later of the earthquake in the Tohoku areas, the Christchurch in New Zealand has a big earthquake. Do you remember that? And I went to New Zealand to planning the project after the 2 years. I think the 2014 or something. And those days, after 3 or 2 years, the earthquake under Christchurch, there are a lot of garbages still. Right? And the point, what I want to say is that to make the recovery quickly, the garbage, the collections or garbage sweeping is the most important. So that's why in Japan, I think a lot of people know that Japanese people like very clean. So that's why I think the Japanese people has the high skill to make clean. So that's why once we see such a garbage, even the flyover is broken, the bridge is broken, the structure is broken. We know how to make it clean as much as earliest. I think otherwise we are not able to put the another structures on the ground. I think the quick sweeping is very important.
Just
You are keeping some prefab slabs on that for such type of emergencies, contingency prefabricated slabs or like this.
What are the fabric?
Yeah.
So cleaning is one part.
Okay.
How do you reconstruct the bridge? I mean, do you
Yeah.
have anything kept ready?
Yes.
Escape people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not work.
Just one small announcement. I just wanted to. We are going to have long-term collaboration with Japan chapter, with Mumbai chapter, and we are going to have a facilitation of this 4 welcome guests from all the way from Japan, just before our post-tea break. I mean after tea break, but prior to our next keynote session. And this is first part.